No, you don't need the.
I'm doing this my way. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of idols. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of idols.
Pikel? Do you want to roster so on? They played DRX today. I know it's a tough matchup, but Smeb is on Maokai in the bot lane. Ucal is playing TF. Bono's Trundle too. They even locked in Senna. Do you want to roster so on? Maybe don't roster so on.
But that would be a mistake, you fool! Because Solon was popping off. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift. In today's first match, we had KT Rolster's new roster pushing DRX to a Game 3, and they used their Deft Touch to touch up Deft and DRX for a 2-1 series victory. What an amazing upset! On the life, disappointed Pikel once again, getting swept by Sandbox Gaming and the Fighting Yamato Cannons. If the Fangless Viper and Lehens are playing with these doo-doo teammates, you can count me out moving forward. We head to China where V5 takes on LNG at the Dragon with a few thousand gold lead and up 4-3 in kills. Thresh lands a hook onto Jace, and Mole gets a taunt onto 3, securing 4 kills, a dragon, and the 2-0 sweep over LNG. After losing a shootout in Game 1, Invictus Gaming won Game 2, and in Game 3 they were losing at the 20-minute mark when a team fight broke out. Galio was collapsed on and Rookie is coming in hot on TF. Riding on Fofos is taken out early. Reheal and Ning engage with their ultimates by the tower, securing another kill. At the 24-minute mark, we're back in the mid lane, and Wings is heaven. After being engaged on by Ning, we have a winner! And Rookie, punishing the Rookie for making a rookie mistake. Several members from Invictus Gaming drop low, but everyone survives, and the Ace put BLG in their place. Invictus Gaming wins the series 2-1.
What's up, everybody? It's Pikel with League of Items, and today we're going to bring back the almost perfect lineup. Now, this lineup is not necessarily going to be the best built from a fundamental perspective, but from a narrative and storyline perspective, it's going to be amazing. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a few players from the different matches, and we're going to create the almost TM, perfect lineup, TM. So let's start off in Korea. In the first match, we should have these rosters before everything locks tonight. We have Kana against Ixu in the top lane, Cuz or Elim, that's a sub-risk, against Flawless. Both of those players are better than Flawless, though. Faker against Mickey in the mid lane. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey, gotta love Mickey. The Mickey of the night, who can forget? But Faker is definitely a much better player. I am somewhat concerned with T1. I think they might run out some subs tonight. Even if Closer plays, I think I still prefer T1. But again, we'll need to watch out for the rosters before lock. In the bot lane, Trigger and Hybrid have both played. Teddy has played every single game so far this split. Teddy's amazing. Love Teddy tonight. And then we have Effort and Mia or Secret in the bot lane. They switched those up as well. So I think T1, they're a gigantic favorite tonight. I think it's like minus 1400. So I think the best way to get exposure to this match, if you're afraid of it not being high scoring, is the team slot. So I'm only going to lock in 6 out of 7 because you're not allowed to do 7. If you do 7, DraftKings comes knocking and tries to hurt you. So the question is, which carry do I think is going to be the best from T1? Do I think maybe I'd play a jungler or something like that instead? Since we have question marks about the jungle, we are not sure who's starting. I'm going to go with probably Faker. I think that Faker is obviously still one of the best players in the world. A lot of people think that he may be declining in terms of his ability. I think that's completely false. His role within the team changes all of the time. He is still one of the best players in the world, like, easily. It's not even in question in my mind. And I think tonight's matchup against Mickey is the kind of thing where we might see Faker take control of the entire match and just go absolutely out of his mind. The next match we have FPX against Vici Gaming. This is projected to be a closer matchup than the first one in Korea. But still, FPX is a pretty gigantic favorite. FPX, the previous world champions. We have Khan against Cube. Tian against Aix or Leon. That's another sub-risk. I'm not sure who's starting. We'll have to watch out for the lineups. Then we have Duanbi and Zika in the mid lane. I like Zika a lot. I think that he's been great so far since he entered the starting lineup. LWX and iBoy. iBoy has looked very good in the last 2 matches, but FPX is a different kind of team altogether. And then in the support role, we have Crisp and Hong. I think that if I'm trying to get one player into my lineups from this game, I think that it's probably going to be somebody from FPX since they're supposed to win. If they win, they have a good chance to go 2-0, and if they go 2-0, we get that game not played bonus. So I think I'm going to go with Tian tonight. I think in the jungle, FPX should have a gigantic advantage, whether it's Aix or Leon. So I'm comfortable rostering Tian. And of course, if you're going to stack this team, everybody on their roster makes sense. My one concern with this matchup is that it can go under for kill totals. I know that FPX sometimes in their victories is playing more of a macro style and isn't necessarily looking to get a lot of kills. That requires the losing team to force fights around objectives, and I'm not sure Vici Gaming is going to do that tonight. If Vici Gaming does go that route, I think that it will be a much better series for DraftKings, but I can't really feel too good about that right now. Vici is trending in the right direction. I think they are somewhat a live dog to win 1 game, but it's very difficult to convince me that they win 2 games and the match. Probably the last 2 matches are the best 2 matches of the day. LGD and JDG are facing off in China in the second game. Zoom against Longxi in the top lane. I think this is a matchup that's heavily favored towards Zoom. Zoom and Longxi are not really carry players. Zoom can eventually carry the game as a tank, but he's looking to play something like Ornn or Volibear. Volibear, it might actually be in that carry mold, but it's more of like a bruisery kind of juggernaut mold. So it's not like a traditional carry in that sense of the word. Then we have Kanavi and Peanut, both very good carry junglers. I'm always concerned when 2 carry junglers play against each other because it can negatively impact the scoring environment in the game. Yagao and Xie in the mid lane. I'm not a big fan of Yagao. I think Xie is equally as good as Yagao. I think Yagao is the beneficiary of being on a very good team. Loken and Kramer, again, I'm not a huge fan of Loken. I know some people think he's very good. I just don't see it. I think that he has benefited greatly from being put into advantageous positions by the rest of his team. With that being said, I think Loken is better than Kramer. The best version of Kramer that we can get is if LGD is playing something like a Senna composition in the bot lane. Then we have Lumao, who has a great bard, and we have Mark, who has been okay this split, but I'm not going to play the support as a one-off from this team, most likely, unless it's Senna. So maybe Mark does make sense as a one-off tonight, but it's pretty questionable. I do think that LGD is a live dog, though, and I'm going to pick Kramer with the hopes that they actually get a Senna composition tonight, because LGD with Senna is a much better team, and they'll be able to compete with JDG. So I think it is kind of comp-specific. We can't know for certain that they're going to play Senna. I think JDG will probably try to ban it out. If they do ban it out and JDG is taking down the victory, I'm definitely going to have Zoom in my lineup, leaving 1 spot from the final match of the night. And anybody who has been watching my channel knows that I am in love with Showmaker. Showmaker is an incredible player. We don't really have a lot of salary left to pick another team, so you'd have to swap out some of these players. And it's not a very highly correlated lineup to begin with, but that's not what we're going for. We're going with the almost perfect lineup. So I do like all of these players a lot in their respective matchups. Before we get out of here, let's just discuss this last game a little bit. Nagri against Keen, 2 very good top laners. I think they're both carry top laners, and in general, Nagri has an advantage going over the other top laners in the league, but Keen is somebody that can go toe-to-toe with him. So I don't think there's a huge advantage there tonight, which will decrease Damwon Gaming's chances of winning just slightly. Canyon against Spirit, I don't have a huge lean either way. I am not a gigantic fan of Spirit on things like Trundle and Volibear. I think he's at his best when he's on something like Nidalee. So if they play Nidalee tonight, I'd be much more interested. But again, I don't know if they're going to do that. Last up, we have Ghost and Beryl against Mystic and Ben. If I'm playing Damwon Gaming tonight, I want access to Damwon Gaming's bot lane because Ghost and Beryl are another bot lane that play things like Senna. I love Senna. I think it's a great champion right now. It gives you a lot of flexibility with the supports that you can pair it with. And yeah, just huge upside. So maybe if you wanted to swap out some of these players, you can pivot onto something with Damwon Gaming having Damwon Gaming's bot lane in there instead of Kramer or something like that. But again, these are just starting points. So plug in some of these players into your roster and see what kind of lineups you can build. If you want to see the roster constructions that I'm looking at, please come check out my stream at 10 o'clock EST. It'll be between 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock Eastern. I have a sheet where I go through all the different roster combinations of favorites and see which favorites actually fit together, because those lineups are generally very popular, and then we can kind of discuss good spots to pivot. We discuss ownership. We have a lot of stuff going on tonight, so please check out the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/The League of Items. I will have all of my picks for these games in my Discord. In order to get access to Discord, you need to join through Patreon to help support the channel. It's only $10 a month, so if you have the means and you want access to my picks, that's kind of the direction you have to go. But if you're just here for the amazing singing voice and the do you want to build a Sowan, then lucky you, because you've already received that today. So thanks for watching. Like I said, if you want to support the community, please consider subscribing to YouTube, following me on Twitter, following me on Twitch. Come check out a stream, and maybe even join Patreon. We have a lot of fun. We have a great Discord community. It's extremely active. We're bringing on other sports from a content perspective. So thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you later.